Live from the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, New York, it's the Superpower Face-Off Series on Sports Channel. Tonight's game features the Central Red Army team from the Soviet Union versus the New York Islanders. Well, the two teams have been introduced. Normally, there is an exchange, and that now takes place at the center ice area. Sergei Makarov and the Islander captain, Brent Sutter, exchanging the traditional gifts. Handshake with the officials on the part of Makarov. And you see Brian Trottier over at the Islander bench, not dressed for tonight's game. We do have a wireless microphone on Brian, and we'll be hearing from him at the bench from time to time. Throughout the contest, we're just checking the mic.
Perfect about Merck's bringing me the tape.
No, it does work. The Soviet Union will start their big line, the KLM line, and they start Sergei Milnikov in goal tonight. Milnikov played the entire series at the Olympics. He was in goal for the tie at Quebec with a 4.61 goals against average. He's 30 years of age, 5'10", and 176 pounds. You see the huddle forming around the Central Red Army goal, and down at the other end of the ice, the Islanders will be starting 38-year-old veteran Bill Smith. All the numbers on Smith, of course, over the years. He has played that one game against Central Red Army here in 1979. That was the Superpower 80 series, as it was called then. And as Eddie pointed out, we expect to see Smith and Rudy share the net-minding duties tonight.
There's your kick in the ass, Gibby.
That's all it takes. Get him kick-started, Brian.
Jump start. Get going. Make a good start.
Gary Fraser will referee tonight's game. Roy Brosiker and Kevin Collins are the two linesmen. Kevin Collins lined up right in front of the Soviet bench. Kind of an interesting sight when you think back to the Canada Cup Series in 1987. When it was all over, Victor Tikhonov, the coach, pushed linesman Kevin Collins. Was not happy with the outcome, of course. There was some report following that Tikhonov would be relieved of his duties with the national team, but not so.
They also talked of relieving him of his duties with the national team after the 1980 Olympics. That didn't happen either when the United States won the gold medal.
The Soviets in the red uniforms. Makarov out with Krutov and Larionov. The puck played into the Islanders' zone. Brent Sutter trying to come up the left wing boards, and Krutov reached behind, knocked it down, no hand pass. And Kasatonov trying to come in off the left side, knocked away from him. Fetisov has teamed up with a different defense mate. Normally, it would be Kasatonov. Tonight, it's Konstantinov. Konstantinov was teamed with Fetisov in the game at Quebec City on Monday night. And David Volek plays it off the boards to Sutter into center ice for Flatley. Flatley trying to get around Larry Ernoff. The puck played across to the right side for Nyland on the Islander defense. Moves in deep, centers one off, Sutter skates. And Sutter gets to it again. Dumps it to the corner for Volek. Volek brings it back to the Soviets line. It's knocked away from him. And David Volek takes his man down. Gusarov was moving in when Volek hooked him up, and there will be a penalty here to Volek. The Soviets, who had 2 power play goals in the game against the Quebec Nordiques, get the first man advantage in this contest.
A breakaway. Again, a close call. I think the linesman made the call, stealing the puck and racing down the ice. Alexei Gusarov, you could see pulled down. Nyland was coming quickly. I suppose that's the only reason there was not a penalty shot. David Volek makes a mistake at his own at the blue line of the Red Army team. Handled the puck just once too often, stolen. And now the Islanders are really going to be tested. Power plays by the Soviet Union teams have always been awesome. The Islanders' penalty killing has not been that good this season. They're ranked 19th in the NHL. Power play of the Soviet Union, they had 2 power play goals on 5 opportunities against Quebec.
Soviets come in forechecking. Bikov playing it back to Kasatonov. To Bikov, fires one that was steered wide on a deflection, held in at the left point. Gusarov waits, plays it in a little deeper. Kamensky with a shot that's blocked. It comes back to the right point. Kasatonov to Holmatov. Holmatov in the right circle, plays it in a little deeper. Bikov tried to center one that was broken up and cleared off the glass and down the ice.
What a good play by Nyland. He anticipated a pass, got one off his stick, and was able to clear it.
Omatov takes a hit from Pilon as he dumped it in, and the Islanders are going to be 2 men short. Rich Pilon.
You cannot play dumb hockey against the Soviets. The given is that they're good. You give them a 2-man advantage, and they'll be very good. A break in the action. 17:58 remaining in the first period. There is no score.
For the Soviets, a 2-man advantage, 1 minute and 5 seconds, as Pilon goes off for roughing. Volek already sitting out a hooking penalty. Larionov, Krutov, and Makarov out for the Soviets, testing Bill Smith. Now Fetisov plays it back to the far side. Konstantinov got it right back to him, to Larionov, to Fetisov. Into Larionov in front of the net. They feed it back to Konstantinov, and a shot is blocked and held by Bill Smith.
Billy Smith will be hanging on at every opportunity he can get a hold of the puck. Soviets moving it around the outside. So far, the Islanders, while they're backed in close to Smith, they're not giving away the ice directly in front of the goal. Here's the passing of the Soviets. They handle the puck so well. Look at the deflection. Bill Smith doing a good job of anticipating the play, taking the puck, holding on.
And Larry Aronoff moves in on the face-off against Pat LaFontaine. Soviets get the draw. That's Krutov with it, number 9. Feeds it back to the blue line. Playing the left side is Kasatonov now, teamed up with Fetisov. And the pass went astray in the Islanders zone, and Brent Sutter slaps it off the boards and down the ice. Number 6, Kasatonov, back of the net. Makarov moves up the left side. The pass goes to the right side. This is Krutov over the line. Krutov wearing the face shield tonight, protecting an injury picked up in the game at Quebec. Krutov walks right in, shoots, Smith makes the save. Krutov with it back of the net. Now the net comes off and play called with 4 seconds left, and David Volek's hooking penalty.
Good job so far by the Islanders. One thing for sure that the Soviets will not do. They'll not take a shot from a bad angle, but give Krutov a chance here. He comes in, tries to put it through the 5-hole. You could see where he was trying to put it between the knees of Bill Smith. The Islanders using discipline, holding their positions. You could see Thomas Johnson. He was tempted to go behind the net and chase after Krutov, but he didn't. He went back to the side.
Now Sutter takes the face-off, wins the draw for the Islanders, giving it to Diddick, and he shot it down the ice. Volek is released from the penalty box. 52 seconds left in Pilon's roughing penalty. There is no score. We're in the first period at the Nassau Coliseum. Makarov relaying the puck into the Islanders zone. Smith plays it to the corner. There's Brent Sutter. Slaps it off the boards. Away from Kasatonov at the left point. Johnson moves into forecheck as Milnikov plays it around behind the net. Yakoslav Fetisov left it for Larry Aronoff. A Mike Bossy look-alike. Now Krutov over the line. Makarov moves in on the right wing side as Larry Aronoff holds the puck. Back to Fetisov, fires through a screen, deflected wide, and Brent Sutter takes over. Sutter plays the puck to center out of the reach of Johnson. Central Red Army with 10 seconds remaining in the power play, and they have difficulty handling it in their own end of the ice. Peacock takes it behind the net. And the penalty to Pilon is expired, so the Islanders kill off 1 minute and 5 seconds. And the 2-man Soviet advantage, and now the Soviets are called for having iced the puck.
Big boost for the Islanders, killing off a 2-man disadvantage. Early in the game, they only allowed 3 shots to the Soviets in the 2-man advantage. A good job. That can give any kind of a team a lift, although it hasn't done that so much for the Islanders in the past. Maybe it will here. They know that they can't make too many mistakes. They made a couple. Volek mishandling a puck, taking a penalty in reprisal, and then Pilon, a roughing penalty. The Islanders have suffered through it.
Chernik taking the face-off for the Soviets. Raimel Helminen for the Islanders. They faced one another at the Olympics, of course. Helminen joining the Islanders following that, and there will be another penalty call coming up against the New York Islanders. Davidoff gets to the puck. Makela ties him up. Chernik takes it out of the corner. Alexander Chernik unable to center, and as it went to Helminen, play is called, and the Soviets get one more power play opportunity. There is no score between the Islanders and Central Red Army.
The tripping penalty, he had the right idea. He just got the wrong part of the Soviet player. Here, the Soviets coming through. There, you see, like he got a hip into him, but he actually got his right leg out, tripping him up. taking him down, getting a penalty. So the second, or actually the third power play in a row, if you count the two-man short situation. The Islanders just fought off as two.
Now a couple of 84 Olympians out on the ice, killing off the penalty for the Islanders. LaFontaine and Flatley. Elon and Diddick together on defense into the Islanders zone. Davidoff with the pass across to the right side. Went back to the blue line. Lockoff played it to the corner. Comes right back to him. There's Chernick parked on the right wing board. To number 7, Lockoff. Lockoff threw a screen. That shot went wide of the net. Elon tapped at it. It came loose in front, and Davidoff fired one wide. Diddick plays it around the boards. Held it at the left point. Stilnoff played it to the corner. Got it right back from Chernick. And now the play called, and again the Islander goal is off the moorings.
A stick laying beside the net. The left post off this time. The right post the last time.
Both teams get the opportunity to make a player change. The Islanders sending out Helminen and Makula as you look at Brian Trache back at the bench.
That'll work, gang. That'll work, Again,
I remind you, we have a wireless mic at the Islander bench. And it's Al Arbor that you heard talking toward Brian Trache's microphone. 1 minute and 10 seconds left in Dorton's tripping penalty. The Soviets starting out of their own zone with a pass to right wing. This is Bykov. Catches left beat. Bykov gets it in front of the net and shot it wide as Smith came out trying to knock it away from him. The Soviets hold it in. Gusarov from the blue line, and his shot went high and wide. Kasatonov covering the right point, deflects the puck onto the stick of Helminen. Ramo Helminen moving in on Gusarov, got around him, and the backhander is blocked. Milnikov making his first stop of the game. And here comes Kamensky across the Islander line with a drop pass. Quick shot off the stick of Homatov, and Smith makes the save, and the Islanders clear it out. Time remaining in the penalty to Norton, ticking down in the top of your screen. No score. A little less than 14 minutes to go in the opening period. Kamensky comes down right wing. Enters the puck back to Bykov. Bykov using Kasatonov at the blue line. Got it right back again. Sets it up once more for Kasatonov. Over to the far side. Gusarov shot. Pad saved by Smith. The rebound in the goal mouth and blocked. And a hard hit thrown by Bergevin. Homatov went to the deck. The Islanders fished the puck out of there but can't clear the zone. Bykov with it on left wing. Gets it back to the blue line. Gusarov fakes once, let one go off Norton's skates as the Islanders have killed off that penalty. And out comes Johnson. Up the left side to Brent Sutter. Calling for it on the right wing. Here's Delgado, and he could not get a stick on it. Larson holding it in for Sutter. Sutter centers it back. Johnson with a shot. Off some skates in front of the net. And Milnikov is able to clear it up the left side. The Soviet goaltender doing the job, and now back for it is Kasatonov. Play opens up a little bit. The Soviets come over center ice. Into the Islanders zone is Makarov. Backhanded one off the side of the net. And Makarov got hit solidly by Nyland as the Islanders take the body on Central Red Army. Batisa starting out of the zone, over center into the Islanders zone, trying to knife through the defense. Now plays it back. Makarov can't get a shot away as Randy Wood checked him tightly. Brad Delgado knocks his man down, and the puck comes out to center ice. Batisa gives it to Krutov. Back into Batisa.
Pretty good tempo in the game right now. The Islanders have been hitting. They've been hitting well. That seems to get them more involved.
Now Larry Ernoff into the Islanders zone. Dropped it back. Turning with the puck was Krutov. To Fetisov. And his shot is wide of Bill Smith. Konstantinov back out on the far side of the Soviets' defense has played it around the boards, but Makula is there for the Islanders. He gave it to Bergevin and then got it right back. Makula cross ice pass to Gilbert. Dumps it into the Central Red Army zone. Makula goes in after it. There's going to be a penalty call on the play.
Larionov cross-checking or high-sticking.
Let's pause now for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Superseries exclusively on SportsChannel.
Busiest guy in the hockey game so far, outside of the referee, Kerry Fraser, has been Bill Smith. There's a shot that he kicks it to the right. It bounced off his own leg. He comes up with the puck for a moment, then it's blasted short off Bergevin. Here's the penalty. The high-sticking penalty. Could be high-sticking. Could be cross-checking to Larionov. So the Islanders go to the power play. 8-1 the shots on goal favoring the Soviets, but 7 of the 8 shots they've had have been with a man advantage. The one shot the Islanders have had, a fine scoring opportunity by Remo Helminen. He walked in all alone.
Helminen is out now on the power play, getting the draw back to Larson. Janssen covering the right point into Makula. Makula being watched by Kamensky. Got the puck right back from Helminen. Feeds Janssen at the point. To Makula. Turns on right wing. He shoots off the goaltender, Milnikov. The Soviets fail to clear it out. Here's Janssen into Mikko Makula. To Helminen. Back to Makula. To Janssen. Right back to Makula. To Janssen. The Swedish player takes a look. Gives it to Larson. Larson pulls to the right side. Lets one fly. It was blocked. Comes right back to Janssen. Thomas Janssen feeds Reed Larson for the drive. Milnikov the save, and the rebound comes back to Larson as again Central Red Army failed to clear it out. At LaFontaine gives the puck to Helminen. Back to Janssen at the blue line. Thomas Janssen lets it go. Milnikov the save, loose puck. And Kamensky is able to clear it high in the air and down the ice.
Milnikov makes a good save. He takes the rebound, bangs it straight out about 25 feet, but it was cleared by one of his defensemen.
Larson got the puck to Janssen. Now to King, who comes over the Soviet line. King around Casatona. Center. Volek shot is blocked. Milnikov without a stick. David Volek checked in the corner. Puck goes to Derek King. Can't play it through the traffic, however. And Diakin starts down the right side. Diakin, Omatov moving in. The play broken up in the Islander zone, and it's Didick. 30 seconds remaining in the power play as he gave it to Brent Sutter. Out to center to King, now to Volek. Off his stick at the Soviet blue line. And Alexei Kasatonov plays it back deeper into his own zone. Usarov to Bikov here on the right side. Bikov puts it in the Islander territory, and the Soviets change up as Didick goes back with the puck.
In the game against Quebec, the Soviets were able to score 2 power play goals. They also had a short-handed goal in that hockey game.
Now Fetisov with the puck, and the Islander power play has expired. Larry Erdoff out of the box after that high sticking penalty. We're midway through the opening period. There is no score at the Nassau Coliseum. Here's Fetisov. Shoots one from the line. Was grabbed and dropped by Smith. Wicked shot off the stick of Vyacheslav Fetisov. He and Konstantinov together again on the Soviets' defense. Several years ago, they experimented breaking up that defense pairing, and it didn't work too well. Now, Zelapukin into the Islander zone, and a quick shot off Bill Smith. Ends up back to the net. Matt LaFontaine plays it around the boards. Konstantinov holds it in at the left point. Dumps it into the corner. Davidoff trying to center. LaFontaine all over him. Davidoff comes off the boards. Right-handed shot, lets one go. It hit his teammate Chernik and comes out over the line. They neatly play it back to Fetisov. Very seldom do they give the puck away.
Handled it so well, Jig. They kept the Islanders pretty well at even strength in their own end of the ice, and Bill Smith grabs the puck from Davidoff.
We pause now for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Super Series exclusively on Sports Channel. Poll tonight, Sports Channel would like to know how you feel. Would you like to see the NHL enlarge the size of their arenas? Yes, call 1-900-300-6311. If you'd like to see the arenas remain the same, the number below that, 6312, there is a 75-cent charge for each call, a portion of which will go towards the American Red Cross Armenian Earthquake Fund. The final tabulation will come at the end of the game and on Sports Nightly, following this contest between the Islanders and the Central Red Army.
8-4 right now. I should say 11-4, the shots on goal. The Islanders had 3 power play shots a moment ago.
Breaking pass from Makarov over his stick. Bill Smith out of the net, plays it around the boards. Mark Bergevin for the Islanders has given it to Greg Gilbert. Comes to center, shot it wide to Milnikov. In after it is Makula. Beats it back. There's Didick with a drive. Grabbed outside the goalpost and held by Sergei Milnikov.
Fine hustle by the Islanders. Makula, good second effort. Gets it back to Gerald Didick. Didick shot a little high. The Russian team, Soviets I should say, watch here. They get things mixed up. At the blue line, finally it cleared out into center ice. Chernik grabbing the puck, playing it back to Fetisov, trying to control the puck. Even the Soviets sometimes get misguided and fall down.
No score, just a little more than 8 minutes to play in the opening period. Second game for Central Red Army on this 14-game swing. They'll play 7. Dynamo Riga will also play 7. Larry Aronoff into the Islander zone. His shot blocked by Smith. And there is no further play. Krutov went to the front of the net, but no rebound coming.
Since 1948, Red Army team have won 31 Soviet championships. Just a powerful team. You know, to the point where people are not watching them in the Soviet Union. They're just so strong, they win so often. Get a good look at Larionov, Igor Larionov. 7 years now with the Red Army team. Last year was his highest scoring total. He had 51 points, 25 of them goal. That's in regular season play. The other thing about the Soviet National League, if you want to call it that, is that they don't play that. They have like 48 or 50 games during the regular season.
The Central Red Army team leading at the break. They play it in 2 portions in the Soviet Union. This is their midway point of the year. They start in September. I think their league started September 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. In the meantime, Randy Wood dumps the puck into the Soviet zone. Jason Yenchinov, he checks behind the net. The puck goes loose. Wood can't get to it in time. And Gusarov plays it out of the zone to Davidov. He's bumped solidly by Rich Krom, and the fans react to that hit. Randy Wood trying to break up a Soviet rush. Succeeded. Now the puck played down into the Islander zone. Bikov chasing it. Bergevin was able to get it to Krom, and he's cleared the zone. Center ice, Thomas Janssen got it into the Soviet territory. It's brought back by Kamensky. Kamensky with a long shot just wide of Smith. Bikov cannot handle the rebound. Patrick Flatley for the Islanders to Sutter. It's knocked away from him. Reed Larson moved it out of the zone, and the Soviets bring it right back in again. Little bitsy doodle there. Homatov drops it back to Bikov. His shot kicked out by Smith. Smith handles the rebound as Kamensky was pretty well covered, and down the right side goes volley. His pass across, broken up by Konstantinov in the Soviet defense. And right back into the Islander zone. Here's Larson. His pass to David Volek. Volek gets checked. Homatov from the right wing takes a look. Feeds it back to Konstantinov. His long shot blocked by Smith. And Yensky was upended as he went through the goal mouth looking for the loose puck. Now Bikov takes it off the board. Bikov checked from behind as Larson took him to the ice. Bikov back on his skates, jabbing the puck loose. Kamensky tied up in the boards. Now goes to Bikov. Bikov centers. Konstantinov too well covered, and out comes David Volek for the Islanders. Working on Fetisov as he moves in over the line. Fetisov knocked it off his stick. It goes high in the air over Sutter's head. It's picked up by Volek. The shot blocked in front of the Soviets' goal. A little less than 6 minutes to go in the opening period. Fetisov into the Islander zone along the right wing boards, waits for the rest of his teammates to arrive, and then turns the puck over. Gerald Diddick flips one high that goes over the glass and up into the seats. There is no score between the Islanders and the Central Red Army team here at the Nassau Coliseum.
These are down 15 shots for the Soviets. They had something like 20 shots in their last game against the Quebec Nordiques in a 65-minute hockey game.
Now Derek King out for the Islanders with Delgarno and LaFontaine on the wings. Chernik at center for the Soviets. Telepukin also out there for the Central Red Army team. Bergevin held it in at the left point. Dumps one back of the net away from Stelnov. The Islanders try to get to it again. Brad Delgarno took the man. The Islanders unable to pick up the puck, however. And Alexander Chernik comes over center ice into the Islander zone with a drop pass. Couldn't get it back again. It goes off Diddick, off Smith as well, and cleared up the right wing boards for Delgarno. Back on the play is Gusarov. Gusarov pulling to the right side. He's into the Islander zone. The veteran defenseman left the puck. Picking up here on right wing is Davidoff, taken to the boards by Mark Bergevin. The puck goes loose. Davidoff went to the ice on the pursuing play. In the meantime, Makela can't get it out of his own zone. Telepukin put it back to the net. Bergevin flips one high, goes over the glass, and on into the seats. So play stopped with 4.5 minutes remaining in the opening period. Let's hear what's going on at the Islander bench, if we may.
O'Brien speaking. We're just not hearing right now.
Maybe he's turned it off.
Yeah, they may. Since 1956, we were talking about before the hockey game, 15 of these players you're seeing for the Red Army team since have played on the Olympic team, or will play on the next, well, not necessarily on the next one, but played on the 88 at Calgary. And since 1956, only twice has the Soviet Union not won the gold medal. 1960 and 1980. 60 in Squaw Valley, and of course 1980. Mike Eruzione, our co-host for tonight, was there and scored the winning goal.
And of course, Ken Morrow with the Islanders was part of that team, not dressed for tonight's game. Soviets starting out of their own territory. Kasatonov played it to the right side. Makarov trying to get it to Larry Arnoff, who was not in position at the time, and the Soviets forced the Islanders back into their own territory. Jeff Norton played for the U.S. Olympic team of 1988. The Pilon up to Helminen, to the right side to Makala. Into the Soviet zone, his pass across, broken up. Kicked ahead to the stick by Vladimir Krutov. Got it to the blue line. The Islanders put it back in offside. We have 3 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the opening period. There is no score between the Islanders and Central Red Army.
No score so far. 3:35 remaining. Another face-off coming up. Islanders have been doing a good job. One thing they've been very good at so far is playing in their own end of the ice. Very disciplined, not making the kinds of mistakes that we've seen the Islanders make in the past. Some good scoring opportunities. Bill Smith, having faced 15 shots, probably a third of those were real testers.
Now Thomas Janssen moving the puck out of his own zone. Randy Wood was checked at center ice. Oh, the Islanders go back. Bergevin and Nyland together on defense. Megan Larson and Nyland, excuse me. Larson on the right, Nyland on the left. The puck loose for Wood. Gives it to Rich Crom. Crom over the Soviet line. Able to move it to Larson in time. Crom was taken into the boards heavily. In the meantime, Davidoff checked right at the Islander blue line. The puck loose. Konstantinov moves in after it. The defenseman is knocked down deep in the Islanders zone. Kept the puck in play, however. Referee Kerry Fraser backing away. Svashnikin trying to put it in front. Could not. And here's Nyland playing it around the boards. Randy Wood goes after it. Nemchidov took Wood into the boards, and there's going to be a penalty on the play. An elbowing call indicated by referee Kerry Fraser. So as he goes to the penalty box, we remind you that our question of the night is, would you like to see the NHL enlarge the size of their arenas? The number's on your screen for a yes vote or a no vote. There is a 75-cent charge. A portion of all proceeds will go towards the American Red Cross Armenian Earthquake Fund. And we'll have the final tabulation of your vote. It's up to you, the fans, to tell us whether you'd like to see the NHL enlarge the size of their arenas or leave them the way they are.
Take a look for the elbow here. Woo, yes. Konstantinov gets the elbow up. The Islanders get their second power play. They had 3 shots on goal the first power play they had. What they can do here. Of course, an explosive penalty-killing unit generally for the Soviets. They skate and handle the puck well. They're actually offensive when they're a man short.
Bikov drops it back into the center ice zone, and the Soviets take it all the way back into their own territory. There is no score. New York Islanders with an added advantage here. Konstantinov off with elbowing. Diddick and Norton together on defense. Flatley, Volek, and Sutter, the Islander forward line. And Norton is checked right in the center ice area by Homatov. To Stelnov. He slaps it in around the board. Bill Smith, who's been outstanding in this first period, left it for Brent Sutter. Homatov forechecking, knocked Diddick down. Soviets held it in at the blue line. Patrick Flatley knocked it away from Homatov. Got it to Volek. Out of Flatley. 1 minute to go on this man advantage as he dumps it into the left wing corner. Brent Sutter in after it. Sutter going back to the net. Left it for Volek. Flatley parked in front. It goes back to Janssen for a drive through a screen. It was blocked. And the Central Red Army squad brings it out into center ice. Here is Makarov into the Islander territory. Turned and played it back neatly. Bikov can't get through the defense, or Byakin rather. And it's Norton with it back of the Islander net. Jeff Norton lead pass to LaFontaine. Got a step on Kasatonov. Comes in, was tripped up from behind as he went to put it by the goaltender and could not. Now Makala centers one that's blocked at the defense. Makala plays it around the boards off Helmanen's stick. Less than a minute to go in the opening period, and the Soviets with a breaking pass to Makarov, coming in on Smith. He scores! Sergei Makarov with a shorthanded goal. 19:15 of the opening period, and the Soviet Central Red Army team leads 1-0.
Makarov, 10 years in a row, he's been an all-star here. Talked about the Soviet team, they're aggressive, killing penalties. The pass right on the stick, away races over the right shoulder of Billy Smith. 1-0 hockey game, a shorthanded goal. Beautiful shot. Here's the play setting up. He put himself in the right position, took the pass, held Bill Smith, and then fired over his right shoulder. 1-0 hockey game. His second goal against the National Hockey League. He had one the other night against Quebec. Makarov makes it 1-0. Krutov assisting. Actually, it was more of a dump-out play. He was clearing it, but you have to know that they set that up.
Pretty to watch, wasn't it? Makarov from Krutov at 19:15, and now the penalty to Konstantinov has expired. And we have 32 seconds remaining in the opening period at the Nassau Coliseum. Delgarno puts one right across in front of the Soviet goal. Up solidly is Larry Ernoff, and the puck comes to center ice. Konstantinov into the Islander zone. Centers the puck, woken up by Barry King to Brad Delgarno. Delgarno gets double-teamed as he played it away from Fetisov. Back is Chernik for the Soviets. Cleared the zone with it. Diddick played it to the right side to King. A cross-ice pass to LaFontaine, trying to cut in around Fetisov. Spilled into the goal mouth, and time runs out. That's the end of the opening period. LaFontaine got up looking, thinking there might have been a penalty call against Fetisov. None coming, however. Milnikov tested 3 or 4 times in that opening period. Twice LaFontaine broke in late in the period, but couldn't put the puck by him. And the only goal comes with 45 seconds left in the first period when Makarov scored. So it's 1-0. The Soviets leading at the end of the first period. The officials are huddled with Victor Tikhonov, and the man who was last talking with referee Kerry Fraser is their interpreter. Had a stopwatch in his pocket. He was keeping the official time, he figures, and there might have been a little more time. But that's the end of the first period here at the Coliseum. Central Red Army leading by a score of 1-0, and they outshot the New York Islanders by a margin of 12. 17 shots for Central Red Army, 5 for the Islanders. And the only goal comes with Konstantinov serving an elbowing penalty. A shorthanded goal for Sergei Makarov. Krutov's assist at 19:15, and it's 1-0. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders. Now let's go to our Sports Channel studios. We check in with Mike Eruzione and Lisa.
The Pacific.
Well, Central Red Army just coming back on the ice for the start of the second period here at the Nassau Coliseum. They outshot the Islanders 17-5 in that period. Think back to Monday night in Quebec City. They had only 20 shots on goal for the entire 65 minutes and scored 5 times. The Islanders not without their chances in that first period.
Definitely had the scoring chances. Pat LaFontaine had a couple of them. Here, Jeff Norton comes up with a puck. Beautiful pass to LaFontaine. He breaks through the middle, but he gets pulled from behind by Alexei Kasatonov. Couldn't get the backhand going. Slides back. No penalty on the play. Good hook by Kasatonov. Then the next time it was Derek King with the puck just inside the blue line. There's the pass. Fetisov this time hooks up Pat LaFontaine, spins him around, sends him into the goaltender. Milnikov, no penalty. Good scoring chance taken away from the Islanders' Pat LaFontaine.
Here this morning at practice, the Soviets were in the trading booth. I guess probably the best recipient of the entire morning had to be Barry Meisel of the New York Daily News. He had some hockey sticks. The only ones that the Soviets were interested in were the Sherwood brand. Apparently they can't get good Sherwood sticks back home.
They'd all have to be left-handed shots, too. There are probably only 3 right-handed shots on the whole team.
He was trading, especially with the KLM line. He's got an autographed stick from each member of the KLM line now. And, of course, Larionov, a big friend and fan of Mike Bossy's, and Igor made sure that that Barry Meisel especially got his stick, because yesterday Barry brought an autographed copy of that book, Boss that he co-wrote with Mike Bossy. The other thing he was telling me, Eddie, was that the Soviets are interested in tennis balls. They'll trade anything for a can of tennis balls or cologne.
Yeah, I can understand over the years that the cologne would be a necessity. Larry Onoff is also probably the most outspoken member of the Red Army team. Talks about his coach Tikhonov. Says Tikhonov on an Olympic year locks us up for 10 months. Regular season, it's only 8 months.
And there is Igor Larionov playing the puck into the Islanders' zone. This out of the net, played it around the corner boards. Vladimir Krutov got to it, couldn't hold it in, and Brent Sutter comes to center, giving it to David Volek. Volek checked at the line. The Islanders to win offside. 25 seconds into the second period. You take a look at the Soviet bench, and almost every time we show you the coach. Well, that is the translator there. That's Vladimir, whose last name I can't begin to mention, and the man in the blue suit. Anybody recognize that man? That's the Soviet Union's answer to Gordie Howe. And he was an outstanding player. That's Boris Mikhailov. He continues to lead all Soviet goal scorers in hockey history in the Soviet Union. The assistant coach of the Central Red Army team. Larry Aronoff bringing the puck out. Krutov moving up with him as they come into the Islanders' zone. The pass to the defenseman, Kasatonov. He plays it behind the net. Ends up here in the near corner. They center it out in front. Larry Aronoff playing it back to the blue line. A shot to a screen. His block comes loose, and Makula slams it off the boards and down the ice. The Islanders will be called for having iced the puck here as Fetisov goes back for it. 58 seconds into this second period. You played against him.
Yes, I did. In 1976, he was here, along with Alexander Yakashev, teammate of Yakashev's. Yakashev was the coach of the team that he played on.
Boris is 44 years of age now. He scored 427 goals in 572 games for the Soviet Union. The teams, he started his career with Lokomotiv and then went to Central Red Army. #1 all-time goal scorer.
See a couple of the names of the teams in the Soviet National League. Tractor, Lokomotiv.
Now into the center ice zone. The Soviets controlling the puck. Kamensky comes over the line on left wing, or right wing rather, and his shot is cleared aside by Smith. LaFontaine got it to the line, picks it up again, feeds it to Derek King. King over the line, working on Kasatonov to LaFontaine. He shoots, he scores!
He had 2 opportunities in the first period. He gets one here. Derek King set him up for one of them in the first period. He was hooked from behind by Alexei Kasatonov. The second time he was hooked from behind by Vladislav Fetisov. And here, watch King in front of the same player that hooked him, Kasatonov. There's the pass. Beautiful as he goes to the backhand. Crashes over the goalie stick of Milnikov. Pat LaFontaine has tied the score at 1-1. Good play here by Derek King to get the pass to LaFontaine. Letting his stick drag a little bit. LaFontaine falling over it. Milnikov spreads out, but it was in vain.
Those who follow Soviet hockey on a regular basis will tell you that Kasatonov is not the same defenseman when he is not playing with Fetisov. Kasatonov was the only man back. LaFontaine scores from Derek King at 1:27 of the second period.
You think back to the last time Pat LaFontaine played against international teams and the Soviet Union. He had 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points in the '84 Olympics.
There's a delayed penalty call coming against the Soviets. Bill Smith was knocked down in the goal mouth. And as the Soviets get control of the puck, an interference penalty signaled by referee Kerry Fraser. Score tied. The Islanders 1, Central Red Army 1.
Koschekin gets an interference penalty. Bill Smith's involved here. Smith goes down, crash. Koschekin goes to the penalty box. The Islanders get their 3rd power play of the hockey game. They've had 3 shots on goal. The first 2, they had 3 on one, none on the other. Get a chance here. They just tied the score. Pat LaFontaine scoring.
Chernik is waved out of the face-off area. Zelepukin will take the draw. The Islanders have a power play alignment of King on left wing, Volek on right wing, Brent Sutter at center ice. Johnson has just given the puck to Brent Sutter. Reed Larson, as he came over center ice, shot it into the Red Army zone. It comes around the boards, into the skates of Brent Sutter. Knocked away from him. Selepukin puts it down into the Islanders zone. That's out of the net, leaving it for Larson, down to Janssen. Ernick started into forecheck, then turns back. Three Soviets give back as King comes over the line with a pass to Volek. Breaks into a backhander. That goes high and up into the seats.
Fetisov just got to the puck, Jigs, just as the backhand was coming off of Volek. Islanders doing a good job isolating one of the defensemen. Fetisov using his long reach. Here they are coming out of their own end on the power play. Derek King skating and handling the puck very well. There's his pass to Volek. Volek went to the forehand, then backhand. Fetisov gets his stick out, deflects it up over the glass. And a good passing play here as the Islanders get in close. They've been finding holes in the defenses of the Soviet Red Army team. They continue to press a little bit. Maybe the holes will open up.
Now LaFontaine on the face-off. Larionov got the draw. Yakin plays it around the boards, but Diddick knocks it down. Dumps it toward the Soviet goal. Central Red Army up with it, and Kasatonov shoots it down the ice. 1 minute, 12 seconds remaining in the penalty against the Soviets. Darryl Diddick giving the puck to Mikko Makala over center ice. Makala to the Soviet blue line, played it through Krutov's skates, got to it again. It's tied up along the boards. Yakin knocks it loose. Kasatonov takes it in the right wing corner, plays one off the boards and down the ice. It rolls toward Bill Smith. Islanders set up in their own zone now with 45 seconds remaining in the power play. Jeff Norton with a pass up the middle, missed LaFontaine, then he got it right back as Fiakin turned it over. LaFontaine cuts in, it's knocked down, and there will be a penalty call against the Soviets. They'll be two men short for the next 35 seconds as LaFontaine is ridden to the ice. Milnikov still stretched out along the goal line. LaFontaine talking to him. Milnikov may have been shaken up on that collision.
He's still down on the ice. They're not paying any attention. The only one paying attention is Pat LaFontaine, who ran into him. Milnikov getting up slowly. He's on his knees. They must know him. They must know something about him. No one is caring. Here comes Pat LaFontaine. Look at him put his left leg out. Hold off the check. On rushing Biakin. He held him long enough, but then he lost his balance as he tried to get the shot away. You can see the leg of the goaltender, Milnikov, Sergei Milnikov, fell down on his left leg. You can see he reaches back now as if he had hurt his back. Nobody cares. That's a little unusual from what we're used to seeing. Usually a player falls down in an NHL game today, and trainers and players and everything are to them like bees to honey. Make sure you're okay.
Now the Soviets, two men short for 35 seconds, barring any further penalties. Fetisov handling the puck in the center ice zone, handling it well as he dumps it into the Islanders zone. Took a hit from Reed Larson on the play, and we watch Janssen start with it. Comes over center ice, across the Soviet blue line with a drop pass to King. Trying to center one to Brent Sutter that was tipped, and Sutter can't continue the play. Fetisov brings it into center ice. Peikoff gets checked as he took the puck, and here's Sutter. Gives it to David Volek on the left side. Pulls up on Stelnoff. Volek dropping it back. Larson moves it over to Janssen. Back to Reed Larson. Now only a one-man advantage. Janssen with a pass to Larson. One times it. Blocked in front. Peikoff is able to get it up to the right side, and Koshikin flips it into the center ice zone. Larson going back. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in the Islander power play attempt. Stelnoff covering the play of the Soviet line. Turned it over in center. Here's Makala coming in. Makala's shot blocked by Stelnoff. Loose puck to LaFontaine centers, and Milnikov sliding out. Gets some help at the defense and blocks the puck.
Pat LaFontaine was trying to get it to Raimo Helminen, who is standing along the left side to the left of the goaltender. The Islanders with a good scoring opportunity. Mikko Makala gets things generated as he comes across the blue line, makes the play to Pat LaFontaine. Should say it was off a rebound, excuse me. There's the puck to LaFontaine. He tries to relay it to Raimo Helminen. He's checked out of the play by Boyka. .55 seconds now remaining as Milnikov grabs the faceoff and holds on. LaFontaine having quite a few words with Kerry Fraser. Of course, Pat gestures, and his words are generally in a milder manner, so he can get the attention of Fraser and hold it. Fraser now talking to him back. If you're harsh, the referees won't pay any attention.
From the face-off, Diddick's shot is turned aside by Mildikoff, and the Soviets shoot it down the ice. LaFontaine, Helmanen, and Mackelal on the ice. So the Islanders with 2 Finns, 2 Americans, and their power play alignment. Normally they have Janssen on the power play, who's Swedish, and the Islanders have just iced the puck. 34 seconds remaining in the power play opportunity.
And, of course, a Canadian in Billy Smith.
And another one in Gerald Diddick, setting up their entire power play alignment. 1-1 is the score. Makarov scored at 19:15 of the opening period for Central Red Army. Pat LaFontaine responded a minute and 27 seconds into the second period. Makarov's goal, by the way, a shorthanded goal.
More and more the North American and Soviet teams getting to play each other, not just in the cup matches, Canada Cup, the Olympic Games, World Championships, but regular season styled hockey games. John Ziegler talking between periods about that. Interesting that only one Soviet player ever played in the National Hockey League. He only played 3 games. He played for the Los Angeles Kings, Viktor Nakachev, in 1982. Played for the Los Angeles Kings, and the only goal he scored in 3 games was against the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden. Some of the fans here at the hockey game enjoying this game. It's a 1-1 tie, 14:47. Quite a contingent of Ranger fans, giving the Islanders a big boost as the Islanders were being introduced prior to the hockey game. All the
There they are.
there they go.
They've enjoyed themselves tonight. They've even participated in some 1940 chants that we heard going around the building. But they've come to have fun. And of course, the Soviets not playing the Rangers on this particular tour. So they're out to support the Islanders here tonight. Nice gesture. Makarov knocking the puck loose at center ice. Came back to Kasatonov. He gets checked, and breaking in is King. Over to LaFontaine. He shoots over, a save by Mildikoff. Stacked the pads as he went to the left side, and now the puck brought in offside at the Soviet blue line. 1-1 is your score. LaFontaine tying it up for the Islanders as there is a break in the action.
Derek King is learning in a hurry who to give the puck to. Look at here, fighting off a couple of checks, hands it across the ice. Guess who's there? Pat LaFontaine, probably the best save of the hockey game. Sergei Melnikov off a shot by Pat LaFontaine. Second period shots, the Islanders have had 5, the Soviets 2.
1-1 is your score for the Islanders. Crom out with Wood and Janssen. Janssen playing left wing just now. Diddick and Bergevin together on defense as Janssen takes the puck from Crom, comes over the line, left it for Crom, and his shot blocked at the defense. Milnoff down to block that, and he's slow to get up again. Soviets set up in their own territory. Long cross-ice pass for Chernik. Chernik comes over the line, moving in on the Islander net, centers one across, and it was steered wide off the stick of Davidoff. On back of the goal, Crom battling for it. Jabbing away is Zelapukin. The puck comes loose. Played in around behind the net by Zelapukin. Bergevin takes the man. Diddick controlling the puck here in the near side. Lays it out to center ice. Fetisov comes back. Fetisov, who has a teacher's degree, a 25-year contract with the Army. Moves it to the right side, and they dump it in. The KLM line trying to come out and attack for the Soviets. Here's Fetisov at the blue line. Homatov takes the puck up the right wing into the Islanders zone. Homatov pulls up, shoots, Smith the save, and the rebound ends up on top of the net. Batted there by Kamensky. We're going to face off in the New York Islanders zone.
Take a look at the Sports Channel out of town scoreboard. See what's going on. Quebec trailing Toronto 2-1 in the second period. Toronto Maple Leafs under their new coach, George Armstrong. Philadelphia lead Pittsburgh 3-1. We know that Mario Lemieux has his 38th goal in that hockey game. They're in the second period. Boston leading the New Jersey Devils 2-1. A second period score. Brent Sutter ready to take the face-off for the Islanders. He'd like to put one in for the Islanders so they could take a 2-1 lead. It's still tied at 1 apiece.
Soviets making a change in this forward line. Larry Ernoff is out on the ice. There will be a penalty call coming up against the Soviets as Volek gets the puck to the left side for Pilon. Plays it into the Islanders' zone off the glass at the bench. So play is called, and the Islanders go to the power play. Let's pause now for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Superseries on SportsChannel.
They are the elite teams of the Soviet League, Central Red Army and Dynamo Riga. They're coming to North America to challenge the Edmonton Oilers, Los Angeles Kings, New York Islanders, and more. East meets West in this clash of hockey titans. Saturday afternoon, they call him the Bobby Orr of the Soviet Union. Vyacheslav Fetisov and the Central Red Army clash with the Boston Bruins in the Superpower Face-Off.
Valery Kamensky gets the penalty. Watch on the right side of your screen on the replay. You'll see the stick come out on David Volek. There's Volek. There's the stick as it cracks across the hips and right arm of David Volek. And the Islanders, their 5th straight power play coming up. They're 0 for 4. They've had 6 shots. Billy Smith, as we had mentioned, takes half the game with 12:54 remaining. Kelly Rudy gets a few warm-up shots as the Islanders change goaltenders.
It gives us an opportunity to tell you a little bit more about the Central Red Army team. A couple of their regular players not on the trip. One of them, the name that's familiar, I'm sure, to a lot of fans, Mikhail Vasilyev. He is sick, apparently. Belashekhin, who is normally their #1 goaltender, and sometimes #2, is out with knee surgery. But they have so many young players, a half a dozen of which are at the World Junior Championships in Fairbanks, Alaska. 19-year-old Sergei Fedorov, 17-year-old Pavel Bure, and you're going to be hearing an awful lot of that name, I'm told. Bure, they say, is better than Gretzky. 19-year-old Alexander Mogilny, who played on the gold medal team at Calgary, is also at the World Championship, as is 19-year-old Igor Milakin. They have a lot of youth on their national team. As you pointed out earlier, they'll start them at 16, 17 years of age, and they're a couple of young-looking faces. Remember when we first used to see the Soviets come over?
Veterans, all veterans. Now they're moving along. Well, in games like this, I think now they've organized their talents such that they can make up a lot of good hockey teams with a lot of balance. I'm just wondering, I was thinking about that the other day. They still, after 32 and 33, the players, you don't see them anymore. They seem to be younger by average age, as the NHL is.
30 years of age, the oldest. Oh, Bekoff broke up the Islander play, comes in on Kelly Rudy, and scores! The second Soviet goal, the same as the first, short-handed. Kamensky is in the penalty box. Bekoff steals the puck at center ice, goes in all alone. The goal will be scored at 7:27.
Billy Smith gave up 1 goal on 20 shots. Unfortunately for Kelly Rudy, Thomas Johnson tries to stick handle at the blue line. He loses the puck. Quickly stolen by Bekoff. Down the ice he races. Watch between the pads of Kelly Rudy. He sees the hole. He puts it through. Just through. Kelly Rudy was trying to slam the door, but the puck got through before he could close it. 2-1 now. The Red Army over the Islanders.
Here's Derek King breaking in. Can't get around the defensive work. David Volek picks up the puck, that it's knocked away from him. Obatov has a break into the Islanders zone. Coming in, a backhander. Rudy, a sliding save. Bekoff takes the puck, centers it in front, and now a penalty call.
Islanders are going to be 2 men short once again as the Soviet Red Army team try to open the game up. Reed Larson draws the penalty. The Soviets break away again. Homutov gets the chance here. The Islanders again misplay the puck. It bounces into center ice, and away races Andre Homutov. There, tripped up from behind by Reed Larson. He still gets the backhand away. Good stop by Kelly Rudy as he maintains his balance. We look again at the breakaway by Andre Homutov. The trip up by Reed Larson, and the Islanders will be 2 men short for at least 1 minute and 12 seconds. That's the time remaining on the first penalty.
Now, each team is a man short.
Excuse me, I'm getting excited. Each team now, Larson, 2 short-handed goals for the Soviets. Larson is in the penalty box after tripping up and on-rushing Andre Homutov.
Kamensky sitting out a slashing penalty. He was in the box when Bykov scored that shorthanded goal. So the Soviets with 2 shorthanded goals and a 2-1 lead on the New York Islanders. Jeff Norton to Makela. The pass relayed to Helminen. Comes over the line looking for Makela. Centered one that was blocked at the defense as Guzarov went down to break up the play. Soviets come to center ice. Into the Islanders zone, cutting to right wing. Niemchov taken to the boards by Pilon and hit hard on the play. Fans react to that. 35 seconds left in Kamensky's penalty time. Norton slowly to Pilon, plays it back to Norton. Norton moves it up the right side to Makela. Goes cross ice to Pilon. The Soviets in the middle of a player change, and Pilon has dumped it in from his own side of center ice, so that'll be an icing call. Now 18 seconds in Kamensky's penalty.
Guess it's easy to confuse me. I keep thinking that the Soviets are on a power play each time they're a man short because they're getting breakaway after breakaway. Saw the Guzarov a moment ago breaking up a 2-on-1 play. Here, Richard Pilon using his strength. He's very strong. The Soviet, Yemchinov, takes a tremendous hit from Richard Pilon. Notice the sticks have been down in this hockey game. The puck is down in this hockey game.
LaFontaine facing off. Larry Arnoff is asked to leave the face-off circle by linesman Kevin Collins. Makarov comes in to take the draw now. LaFontaine pulled the puck away from him, giving it to Gary Nyland. Around to Diddick. Diddick clears it out into the center ice area. The Soviets drop back quickly. Larionov playing it into his own zone for Fetisov. At the right side, Larionov comes to center ice to Makarov. Now it is a power play opportunity for the Soviets as Kamensky is out of the penalty box. He goes to the Soviet players bench. Here's Larry Arnoff for the pass back to Fetisov. Shoots one. Redirected in front of the net. They bang at it. Rudy Down has made the save and held the puck.
Fetisov's drive from the point. Low and hard. Standing in front of him, Makarov. Take a look. There's the pass as it goes across to Fetisov. Coming from Larionov. Watch in front of the net. The puck bounces. He lets it fly. It deflects a couple of times. There, standing in front, the puck trickles out in front of him so he can get a swat at it. Kelly Rudy makes the save off Sergei Makarov. Puck seems to be under his pad momentarily, and the whistle blown by Kelly Fraser. Makarov gets up, taps Kelly Rudy on the pad, saying, next time.
The Soviets play the puck outside the Islander blue line. Konstantinov had a little trouble handling it. Now back into his own zone. Number 16 gives it to Fetisov. Makarov turning, going to the right side, takes the pass. Into the Islander zone. He pulls up, takes a look, moves it back. Konstantinov into the corner for Larionov. Larionov centers one in front. Rudy a sliding save. Good stop off Krutov. And the Islanders clear it out. Number 9, Krutov. His teammates call him the Tank. He is solidly built. And loves to go to the front of the net. Here's Larry Arnoff over center ice. Slowed up a little bit by Larson as he gets into the Islander zone. And the team's at 6 aside again. Soviet Central Red Army team leading 2-1 here at the Nassau Coliseum. Fetisov for the pass to Makarov. It's stolen by LaFontaine. Comes over center ice. LaFontaine slipped it into the Soviet Union zone, but it's broken up there, and Fetisov has it. Got checked by King. Loose puck recovered here on the left side. Konstantinov plays it to Larry Arnoff. Into the Islander zone, holding the puck. Norton moved up on him. He plays it in a little deeper. Bykov goes cross ice to Fetisov. Puts it back of the net. Jeff Norton gets to it. He's given it to King. Long cross ice pass. Over center ice comes Bergevin. Dumping it in wide of Milnikov. And after it, Dalgarno and his backhand shot hit the outside of the net. LaFontaine gets to it. The wraparound is blocked. LaFontaine checked on the end boards. Then he steps around Larry Arnoff and is knocked down. Here's Fetisov. Pumped solidly by Dalgarno. And the Soviets clear the zone. Long pass into the Islander territory. And the linesman Kevin Collins right on the play, or Brossiker rather, and Rudy played the puck. The Islanders trying to move out of their own zone. Cannot. Stelnoff with a shot that went wide as he whistled it from the point. Another drive sails wide. That one off Chernick's stick. This is King moving it to the left side to Gilbert. He dumps the puck into center ice. 8.5 minutes to go in the second period. Coming back for it, the Soviet defenseman, Novakov, trying to play it up to the near side. Zalapukin tips it to Chernik. He comes over center ice. Kamensky with him, takes the drop pass. Kamensky shot blocked by Rudy, and there's no further play. Let's pause for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Super Series exclusively on Sports. Listening in at the Islander bench as Brian Trottier was talking about the various lanes and plugging them up, getting people in front of people.
Explaining it all to Mark Aldridge, the trainer for the Islanders.
We have a wireless mic on the Islander veteran, Brian Trottier, who is obviously not playing tonight, being rested by Coach Al Arbor. And the Islanders have just iced the puck. So they'll face it off deep in the New York Islanders zone, and we ask you again to decide whether or not you'd like to see the National Hockey League enlarge the size of their arenas. In European hockey, the ice surface is much larger. Would you like to see that come to the NHL game? If yes is your thought, 1-900-300-6311. If no, 1-900-300-6312. There is a 75-cent charge for each call, and a portion of the proceeds will go to the American Red Cross Armenian Earthquake Fund. We'll have the results following the game and, of course, on Sports Nightly. I'm Jiggs McDonald with Ed Westfall at the Nassau Coliseum. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders by a score of 2-1. And watch them set up. Zara from back of the net. Pass off Makala's stick. Omatov takes it here on the left wing, goes rink wide with a pass to Bikov. Takes the slap shot, moves into the Islanders zone, drops it to Gusarov for a shot. Rudy got a piece of that as Kamensky chases the rebound. Kamensky puts it back in the net. Here's Homatov centering. Kamensky, Rudy down, the puck knocked loose. Kamensky could never get it on the stick in time to shoot it. The Islanders force the Soviets back into their own zone.
Quickly, the Islanders cover up in front of Kelly Rudy. They've done a good job in this hockey game. They haven't allowed the Soviet Red Army team the liberty in the front of the goal that they've allowed some of the NHL teams.
Now the Soviets trying to move in. The play broken up. Puck came around the boards. Kasatonov trying to center one. Kamensky moves it to the right side. Homatov with a shot. Rudy, the blocking glove save. They center it again, and Kamensky fires it way wide of the net. Homatov centers the puck. Here's Bikov trying to get Kamensky open. Good job by Larson tying him up on the play. The puck loose again. Homatov puts it back of the net. Taken by Gary Nyland of the Islanders. Turned it over to Bikov. In front to Kamensky, and a weak shot. Changed direction on a deflection, and what a save by Kelly Rudy. He had a time for one speed, and it ended up about a 33 1/3 instead of a 78.
He had himself in the right position, though. Nyland is hooked up from behind. Stepping in, grabbing the puck is Boykov. There's his pass. Kamensky with a quick shot, partially blocked by Larson, and then grabbed by Kelly Rudy. Good scoring chance for the Soviets. Bang. Partially blocked. Kamensky. Oh, my goodness. Why didn't I keep it away from the defenseman as he was falling down? If it had gone high, I had a good chance.
Kamensky, the reputation of being a bit of a hot dog and not having too many friends on the national team or his Central Red Army team regular season.
83 and 86 won the World Championship gold medal. And of course, he was on the 88 Olympic team, Soviet Olympic team that won at Calgary.
Heard one of the reporters yesterday through an interpreter asking him if he would like to be the leader on this team. And he said, according to the interpreter anyway, he said that to a degree he was, but there were older people who got the credit.
More and more, they're sounding like NHL players.
Mm-hmm.
One of the problems that Victor Tikhonov, the coach, has now that he has never had in the past. Maybe Glasnost is starting to take over a little bit on his hockey team. Some of the players becoming a little more outspoken.
Igor Larionov, as you pointed out, no question.
Yes, Tikhonov was wondering. He said, listen, I'm supposed to be going to the New Jersey Devils. I want to go there. So the only reason I can't go there is he feels that the coach won't let him. The coach says, listen, I signed a paper allowing you to go there. I said, I haven't had to. Fetisov says, I've never seen the paper.
Yeah, Fetisov said to the reporter who was asking, did you see him sign it? through the interpreter. But they're a little happier group. There are a lot more smiles these days than when the Soviets used to come, think back to 72, 76, and some of the other superpower series. Now Flatley gets the puck into the Soviet zone. Brent Sutter too well covered. Forechecking of Flatley knocked it loose, held in by David Volek. Volek moving it in along the boards. Comes back along the near wing out into the center ice zone, and Bergevin drops back for the Islanders. A little more than 5 minutes to play in the period. Breaking pass to LaFontaine. Right up from behind and taken down by PITTSBURGH. Play allowed to continue. There's Diddick with a shot, and Milnikov got a piece of that. Flatley with a shot. Had saved by Milnikov, and the Soviets are able to clear it out. Going back for it is Diddick. Harold Diddick gives it to Mark Bergevin up the right wing, but behind LaFontaine, and the Soviets set up again at center ice. Chernik with a pass across to the far side. Nobody there in a red uniform. So LaFontaine puts it in behind the net. Delma takes a hard hit from Delgarno. The Soviets come to center. Davidoff into the Islanders zone. Drops it back. Zelepukin cutting to the left wing. Zelepukin checked on the boards. Larson all over him. Now the puck goes loose again as Davidoff is knocked down. Meantime, Reed Larson gives it to King. The pass to Delgarno. He's lined up by Stelnoff and slipped the check. Chernik drops back to help out on the Soviet defense. Loose puck at center ice. Picked up by Larson. Shoots it in around the boards, and LaFontaine lets it go to Delgarno. Slaps it back of the net right to LaFontaine. He draws a crowd. LaFontaine sets up. The pass to Nyland is shot blocked to the short side by Milnikov. Here's King getting it back to Nyland. Nyland plays one back of the net. Delgarno with it in front of. Backhander goes wide. Bounces into the corner for Makarov. Sergei Makarov bringing it out to center. Into the Islanders zone, trying to cut to the left side. His shot is blocked. Reed Larson takes Makarov out of the play, and King pokes the puck to center ice. Yakin dropped it back. Konstantinov putting it in the Islanders zone. It's brought back. Long shot by Larson. Stick save by Milnikov. And the Soviets take over. Makarov dropping it back. Now Satonov going behind the net. Plays it up the left side. This is Makarov. Makarov with a neat pass. Yakin comes to center ice to Larionov. He's into the Islanders zone and gets checked on the play. Norton back. Jeff Norton moves it to the left wing boards. Makarov sensing that tipped it, but right to Ramo Helminen. Now to Norton, out to Makula, and he turns it over at center ice. Larionov breaking up the play neatly. Now the Soviets. Yakin comes to center. Omatov checked at the Islander blue line, and the Soviets are offside. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders by a score of 2-1.
Igor Stelnoff gets knocked off. What a shot. Good hit. Open ice. Backs him up against the boards. Brad Delgarno using his size and his weight. Watch him. Pat LaFontaine, little dipsy doodle, handling the puck, giving the Soviets a lesson in handling it. As a shot by Bergevin. Saved by Milnikov. The rebound goes loose. The Islanders were not able to get another shot.
Each team with a goal here in the second period. David Volek with a pass to Brent Sutter. Puts the puck in the Soviet zone. I think back a couple of years ago, Brent Sutter very, very important for the Canadians in the World Championships. After the Islanders had been eliminated in the playoffs, Sutter, Rudy, Denny Potvin went to join Team Canada for the World Championships that were played in Moscow. At center ice, it's Homatov down right wing into the Islanders zone. Goes in deep. Then drops the puck in toward the corner. Takeoff after it. It's knocked away from him. Goes over the glass and on into the seats. The Soviet Central Red Army team leading the New York Islanders 2-1.
Mercury.
Doing our best to get Brian Trottier his conversation a moment ago with Pat Flatley. Coaches can see more of what's going on at times than players.
The Islanders, Brad Delgarno brings the puck into center ice. He's out with King and LaFontaine. Delgarno taken down deep in the Soviet zone. King pushed into the goal, and it comes off, so play is stopped with 1 minute and 51 seconds left in the second period.
Suppose if you're trying to make a contrast to Derek King right now, not a contrast so much, I guess you could make a contrast into what he has been doing before he got hurt. He was doing well, seems to be doing very well since returning to the lineup. First game against Toronto the other night. The Islanders' second win on the road for the season. Derek King in the game here, some fine moves to get Pat LaFontaine loose. But the contrast, I suppose, right now I was trying to make is that the Soviets, very seldom do they shoot the puck in. They carry the puck in, where in North America, and particularly in the National Hockey League, the tendency is more to dump it and chase it.
We've been treated to a good hockey game. Skating has been excellent here tonight.
Some pretty good hits, too. Brad
yes.
Delgarno's been involved in a couple.
Ooh, the Islanders got the draw, put it right on the stick of Nyland, and he whistled one wide of the net. Moving up into the Islanders zone. Nyland got back in time to knock it away from Koshikin, and here is LaFontaine in the Soviet zone. The puck knocked away from him. Yemchikov plays it out into the center ice zone. Here's Makarov with it. Makarov checked at the Islander line. Seeing more different line changes for the Soviets. Normally, Makarov would only be out with Krutov and Larionov, but they have switched things around a little tonight on us. They don't play with those solid five-man units that they once did.
You would never see a change years ago. That's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be no matter what happened, no matter what the score. Little experimentation.
Harry King got the puck into the Soviet zone, drops it outside the line, however, to Larson. Plays it back in again. Milnikov left it behind the net. Diakin moves it up ahead to Chernik. Zelapukin comes over the line. Zelapukin trying to get through the defense work of Larson and Pilon. Richard Pilon lost it in his own zone. Chernik turns it over, however, and Reed Larson dumps it out through center ice. Kasarov back on the Soviet defense. The Diakin let it go to Davidov, and the play broken up by Makula. Makula, Gilbert, it went off his stick and cleared out by Central Red Army. Back is Larson. Reed Larson dumps it in. Soviets get back for it. Alexei Gusarov playing it to the corner. Makula moves it to Helminen. Sets up back of the net. Helminen centered one. Here's Makula turning. Trying to slip it back to the blue line. A weak pass, however. And Makarov, the captain, shoots from center ice. Rudy grabbing it as the horn sounds, ending the second period. And the Soviets are reminded that they have to stay on the bench until the home team leaves. They're getting an introduction to a lot of the National Hockey League rules tonight. There's Sergei Milnikov headed for the Soviet dressing room. Now the Soviets are released. And it's 2-1. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders after 2 periods of play. Shots on goal in the second period by the Soviet Central Red Army team, 12, and by the Islanders, 10. 29-15 are the totals over 2 periods. Red Army team led 1-0 going to the second period. Pat LaFontaine ties it at 1:27 on an assist from Derek King. And then at 7:27, a shorthanded goal. Bekoff scoring unassisted. Kelly Rudy facing his first shot after replacing Bill Smith at the 7:06 mark. And Bekoff has given the Soviets a 2-1 lead. So that's your score at the end of 2. Central Red Army 2 and the New York Islanders 1. Now we return to the Sports Channel studios. Check in with Mike Eruzione
after this.
The Soviets over the Islanders. You're watching the NHL Soviet Series on Sports Channel.
It's a week.
Harris Casino Hotel and Haran Coachways would like to help Islander fans bring in the new year with their '89 Pocket Calendar Night. This Tuesday, January the 3rd, when the Philadelphia Flyers visit the Coliseum. All fans will receive a 1989 month-at-a-glance pocket calendar. Celebrate the new year with the Islanders' Harris and Haran Coachways. Let's take a look at Pat LaFontaine. He had 2 good scoring chances in the first period. This is at the very beginning of the second period. Pass by, yes, Derek King, Pat LaFontaine. What a stop here by Milnikov. Sergei Milnikov sliding across, stacking the pads. LaFontaine scored just after that. There he is on the bench, having another good night for his New York Islanders.
Helminen takes the face-off against Larionov to open up the third period here at the Nassau Coliseum. Tisov back in his own zone. That long pass into center ice. Down into the Islanders zone, and Rudy plays it around the boards for Greg Gilbert. Cross-ice pass into the center ice zone. Ends up back in the Soviet territory. Konstantinov, the defenseman who went back, played it up the boards, but here's Gilbert turning in the Soviet zone. Centers one. Norton with a shot. Milnikov back into the goal mouth to make the stop. And it's cleared out into center ice. Played around Krutov by Pilon. The Soviets go back. A couple of things that you've probably witnessed here tonight about the Soviets. They just turned the puck over. Oh, and it slides under the pads of Milnikov. Helmeted taking it from back of the net. Came also close to tying it up.
A broken play. The Islanders jump on it quickly. Raimo Helminen. Fetisov there loses the puck. Helminen grabs it, comes around quickly. He thought he had it in, but it was the right pad. The right pad of Milnikov dragging along the ice that kept the puck from going in. Helminen did everything right. Stole the puck from Fetisov, excuse me.
Brian Trottier is handling the Islanders now at the bench as Al Arbor has gone to one of the skyboxes to watch it.
I'd like to ask him, Brian, you know all the players' names. Right from the face-off, a drive over the crossbar by Pat Flatley.
And the Soviets play it out through center ice. It appeared to be a two-line pass. Kaminsky comes in. Rudy the stop. The rebound loose. Centered in front. And Konstantinov trying to get it set up. He is checked on the play, and Flatley bangs it off the boards and out to center ice. Great opportunities at both ends of the ice. Omatov dumping it into the Islander zone. Rudy lets it go to Nyland, and that's going to be called on an icing. Started to say a few moments ago a couple of things about the Soviets. You very seldom see, and I don't think we've seen them tonight, go offside at the blue line. They just do not do that. The other thing, they don't dump it in. I was started to say they don't give the puck away very often, and then bang, there's a chance for Helminen.
Right from the face-off, Flatley put it over the crossbar, but then back come the Soviets. That's Kaminsky with a shot stopped by Kelly Rudy. He drags his left pad, kicks it away from the net. End-to-end action. Flatley had just tickled the top of the crossbar. There he is again. I should say LaFontaine from the face-off. The Soviets generally, again, are very good at face-offs. The Islanders, in the second period, were winning most of them. Two important ones here at the beginning of the third period. The Islanders come up with the puck.
And again, they're jockeying some people from the KLM line. Makarov out on left wing now. He had a couple of words with Niemchov as he moved in for this face-off. And Niemchov is going to be moved out. Linesman Gord Brasiker waving the Soviet player from the face-off area.
Niemchikov, not a lot of ice time, but I guess they're going to start to use him here in the third period.
Sheehan came in to take the draw. The Soviets moving out on the right side. Niemchikov into the Islanders zone with the pass. Broken up, and here's Bergevin. Bergevin trying to outskate the Soviets. Cleared the zone. Niemchikov with it at center ice. They come over the line again. Makarov is taken down, turned around by Delgarno. Now Makarov back on his skate, centers one. It goes right to Rudy. Comes out to cover the puck, and there's no further play.
Skating stays in the hockey game. The Islanders, probably the best we've seen them in a long time in their own end of the ice in this hockey game. Al Arbor joins general manager, president Bill Torrey up in the birdcage.
And Brian Trottier at the bench. The wireless mic is open. Sign language now.
First chance, change. First chance.
First chance, they can change. That sign language.
First chance is coming, boys.
LaFontaine squaring to take the face-off. Chernik got the draw back to the left point. Konstantinov's shot is deflected over the glass and on into the seat.
I suppose if you're wondering about Brian Trottier behind the bench as coach, is that something that maybe the Islanders are thinking about for the future? No, he's probably said something along the way. That coaching is easy to do, and I'm sure all you have to do...
Where you go?
All you have to do is walk up and down behind the bench, know everybody's number, and know everybody's name.
I used to have a broadcast partner that told me that was the way to coach the Montreal Canadiens. He didn't finish the season when he took that approach. The Islanders have just iced the puck as Fetisov went back to touch up in his own zone. This is the 43rd season of Soviet Union National Hockey League play. See Brian Trottier and Rick Wilson talking. See if we can listen in.
Brent Cromwood.
Oh, yeah. What's the next line going out from?
What's that? You want to throw him on now?
We don't catch the kid. They'll be coming with one of those top lines.
Yeah.
Obviously, what they're trying to do is they're trying to match lines.
Brent, Crom, and Wood seem to be a line combination that they're talking about. King, Delgarno, and LaFontaine remain out on the ice. Put the puck in the Soviet zone. Chernik moves it up the right wing board. On into the Islanders zone. Zalapukin is knocked down on the play by Pilon. The puck loose back in the net. LaFontaine takes over. Played it away from Chernik out into the center ice zone, and Fetisov drops back. Now over the line is Chernik. Norton chases him back. Chernik's pass off the stick. LaFontaine lost it. Loose in front. Oh, Rudy crawls to the right side. Dazzling save on Davidoff. At LaFontaine, trying to clear it out, hit one of the Soviets in the back, Davidoff, and then hold the puck in. Zalapukin on right wing to Davidoff. He shoots, blocked by Norton, and the rebound is turned aside by Rudy. At LaFontaine moves it up to Derek King. King with Wood. The play broken up. Zalapukin has it. Zalapukin turning in the center ice area. Ellery Zalapukin turns and shoots it down into the Islander zone. Comes off the boards for Nyland. Vladimir Krutov moved into forecheck. Wood moves it up to Crom. It is Wood with Johnson and Crom, the Islander forward line. Nyland with a shot, and Melnikov, the save, dropped it off. Kasatonov trying to move it out on the boards. Knocked loose by Crom. Gusarov with it back of the net. Played it to the left side, and it's cleared around the boards and out to center by Krutov. Picking it up is Larry Arnott. Makarov moves in to join him, but Larry Arnott can't get around the defensive work of Nyland. This is Randy Wood clearing the zone. Johnson chasing a loose puck. Kasatonov back on the Soviet defense. Played it to the left side. Krutov to Makarov. Now Larry Arnott comes over the line. Larry Arnott put it in the skates of his teammate. Kasatonov centers. Makarov was checked by Pilon. Thomas Johnson brings it out on the left side. Johnson flips it into the Soviet zone. Milnikov steering it to Gusarov. Alexei Gusarov moves it to right wing. Sergei Makarov with a pass. And Bykov can't get into the Islander zone. Now they shove it in across the line. It's recovered by Norton. Bykov's goal is the difference in this game. 2-1. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders. Greg Gilbert at center ice. Wraparound pass cleared by the Soviets. Norton with it again. Over to Pilon. Tip. Pilon able to move it out into the center ice zone. So Byakin goes back for Central Red Army. And Yansky turning at center ice along with Homatov. Byakin takes it all the way back of the net rather than give it away to anybody.
Puck control. That's the way they like to play hockey. They don't golf it away.
Now Gilbert traces it into the Soviet zone. Greg Gilbert in front to Flatley, and it's knocked loose. Nyland gets control of it. Then it's cleared right back to Gilbert. Trying to set up Helminen. The Soviet defense tightens up, and out comes Homatov on right wing. Into the Islander zone. Can't get around Nyland. Kelly Rudy puts it back of the Islander net for Reed Larson. To the near side for Flatley. His pass is blocked. Flatley goes back for the puck. Gives it to Gilbert on left wing. Up to Patrick Flatley into the Soviet zone. Patrick Flatley pulls up, centers, and the shot is blocked by Milnikov. Brent Sutter with a chance. Centers it in front. Flatley tapped it wide. Taken down on the play as Gilbert. There'll be a penalty. Flatley shoots and scores! Flatley ties it at 2.
The Islanders, yes, the Islanders had the Soviets running around in their own end of the ice. Sutter has a chance. Flatley has a chance. Then finally Flatley with his second chance and a delayed penalty fires it into the lower left-hand side. Milnikov reaching for it, couldn't get to it. Here the Islanders a buzz. Flatley dumps it just wide of the left goalpost to the left of Milnikov. Sutter, who had a scoring opportunity earlier, passes the puck. There's the shot into the lower left-hand corner, and Flatley has tied it at 2 apiece as Brent Sutter passes it in front, one-timing it. It's a 2-2 game.
And over at the Soviet bench, Tikhonov really upset with that line when they came back. He was down nose to nose with a couple of his players. They are tied at 2 as Flatley scores at the 5:28 mark. Patrick Flatley moves up into center ice with Pollock on one side, Sutter on the other. Flatley bump, brings it back in offside, and play is called. Still 14 minutes and 8 seconds left in the third period. The score tied 2-2. I wonder if he gets into any... That's at the train.
That's the train getting ready.
Boy, he has been so vocal. He's calmed down a little bit, but I'm sitting here wondering if he has any arguments like that at home. His wife, Tatiana, is a lawyer in Moscow. He has a son, Vasily, who plays for a second division team in the Soviet Union.
Boy, is he hot. He was working his way up and down the bench, and the ears, even covered with a helmet, have to be ringing. He's upset with the performance of his team and that particular exchange that the Islanders tied the score on. Flatley, the Canadian Olympic team in '84, he had 33 goals, 17 assists, 50 points for the Canadian team.
Flatley has given the Islanders a 2-2 tie as they turn PITTSBURGH around in his own zone. The puck knocked away from him, but cleared outside the line. King gets it right back from Bergevin, played it to the right side to Dinnick. He puts it in the Soviet territory. Well, Carno went into forecheck, but it's PITTSBURGH moving it up the right side. Pashnikin in the center ice zone. Chernik got checked in the Islander territory. Norton, a turnover in his own end of the ice. Davidoff centers, but right to Norton. Jeff Norton, breaking pass into the center ice zone. LaFontaine drops it back to Pilon. A couple of Soviets collided as the Islanders start out. Pilon with a pass to Randy Wood. Played it over the Soviet blue line, but Gusarov is back. Dumps it down the ice. Does have enough on it to get across the goal line, and an icing call against Central Red Army. 13 minutes, 2 seconds left in the third period. The score is tied 2-2.
They are the elite teams of the Soviet League, Central Red Army and Dynamo Riga. They're coming to North America to challenge the Edmonton Oilers, Los Angeles Kings, New York Islanders, and more. East meets West in this clash of hockey titans. New Year's Eve, all-universe Wayne Gretzky and the Los Angeles Kings collide with the youth and speed of Dynamo Riga in the superpower face-off. Live at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, exclusively on SportsChannel New Year's Eve.
Again, we listen in to Brian Trottier at the Islander bench, reminding his players to keep the lanes covered.
Keeping the lanes covered is a little like saying, you know, wing on wing. Make sure you have somebody covered coming back into your own end.
Pilon with a shot right on. Mildakov the save. Wood centers one in front. Gusarov for the Soviet Union, playing it to the right side. Zelebukin into the Islanders zone. Centered one, and it's tapped wide by Chernik. Davidoff gets to it. Rich Crom reaching in, couldn't knock it away from the Soviet player. Chernik with a shot, and Rudy, the pad save. The Islanders able to clear it away from Kasatonov down into the Soviet zone, and this will be an icing call.
One of the few icings the Islanders have made in this hockey game. The Soviets were making a few just a moment ago. Kelly Rudy, good stop. Alexander Chernik, a moment ago, one-timing it. Here, gets enough on it. That deflected. That's what fooled Kelly Rudy for a moment. Got his skate out, got his glove in behind the skate. Take another look as the Soviet Red Army team try to gear up the offense. Kelly Rudy making a good stop, kicking it off into the corner. It's a 2-2 tie with 12:27 remaining in the third period.
Larry Ernoff moves in to take the face-off. The KLM line out there for the Soviets. Here's Gilbert. He shoots it into the Red Army zone. It comes off the boards. Helminen after it. He got checked on the play, and Makarov takes the pass from Krutov. Makarov stick handling into center ice. The captain now, as PITTSBURGH had been stripped of that honor. The puck dropped back. Moving in with it is Krutov. The tank goes back to the net. Larson pushes him, and look at the way he holds on to that puck. Finally, it's turned over, however. Larson, Gilbert, up to Helminen. Raimo Helminen checked by Larry Ernoff, and Makarov drops it back into his own zone. Vladimir Makarov dumps it down the right side. Islanders covering up in their own territory. Here's Gilbert out to Helminen. 3 Soviets back. Helminen over the line. Centers to Gilbert off his stick and wide of the net. Gilbert frees it for Makula. Puts it to the side of the net. Gilbert jabbing at it. It comes loose for Makula. Makula tied up. Gilbert is knocked into the back of the net. In after the loose puck goes Dinnick. Banks one off the side of the net. The Soviets come up with it, but not before a little scuffle. Meantime, Krutov is appealing to the referee who's called the play. Gary Fraser has at least one penalty to call here, maybe more. Let's pause now for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Superseries on SportsChannel.
Around Milnikov in goal. Mikko Makula fighting away at the side of the net. That's Larionov, number 8. Mikko Makula knocks the lid off Malnikov. But the penalties go to Greg Gilbert and Malnikov.
In a look at the Soviet bench. Makarov playing in this game tonight. We talked about Mikhailov, the assistant coach, being the #1 all-time goal scorer. Makarov is now 10th. And if he has as good a season as everybody anticipates in regular season play, he'll pass Alexander Maltsev and Helmut Guterres. Well, Guterres, right there for him to pass this year on their all-time scoring list. Then comes your pal, Yakushev. Remember Kursov?
Kursov, yes.
He's next in line for Makarov to pass. 2-2 is the score. We're reaching the midway point of the third period, here at the Nassau Coliseum. The breaking pass. Look out. Rudy able to make the save on Bykov, who got it up high. One of the few times the Soviets have gone high with Rudy in the nets.
That's one of the advantages, Jake. The Soviets love to control the puck. They will not just shoot it in. They move it back to their own blue line and let the forwards regroup. Then they start up the ice from the red line toward the Islander blue line.
Makarov dropped it back. Kusarov's shot is blocked, and LaFontaine feeds it to King. Right back to LaFontaine. Delgarno over on the right side. LaFontaine into the Soviet zone. Gave it to King in the corner. Back to the point for Pilon. That's one goal, and that deflected off Makarov. Delgarno gives it to King. Gary King, cross ice to LaFontaine. Picks it out of the corner. Trying to step around the checker, Casatona. Got it to Delgarno. Goes to the corner for it. Takes it back to the net. Given a ride along the boards. Now Norton moves in. The puck knocked loose. He's out into the center ice area, but picked up by King. Can't get LaFontaine over the line as Delgarno's play is blocked. And the Soviets turn back again. Yemchinov dropping it into his own zone. Kasatonov with it. Moves it to Makarov. Makarov dumps it in. Rudy slows it up. Taken back in the net by Wood. Wood, there's high stick on the play. There'll be a penalty against the Soviets. Ellie Rudy stays on the ice. Now the Islanders move it out with a pass to LaFontaine at center. Back to Pilon. Rudy has gone to the bench for the extra attacker. Pilon gives it to Wood. Back to Pilon. Richard Pilon tied up on the boards, and as the Soviets control the puck, there's no further play. There will be a high sticking penalty. 9:04 remaining in the third period. Let's pause now for a regional break. You're watching the NHL Soviet Superseries.
On the play about how the Soviets go back to their own blue line, regroup, and here's what happens. A breakaway pass. Homutant with a beautiful pass to Bykov. What a stop by Kelly Rudy, keeping the score at 2 apiece. Here's the high stick on Randy Wood. Wood going behind, trying to fight the check off. Kozchikin gets the stick around the throat of Randy Wood, gets the penalty. The Islanders go to the power play. The Islanders' 6th power play of the hockey game.
Linesman Gord Brossiker puts the puck in play, and it comes back to Diddick on the left point. Goes to the right side, in front to Brent Sutter, to Pollock, and the goaltender, Milnikov, knocked it away before he could get a stick on it. Pollock to Flatley. Back to the point for Diddick, pulling a little to the right, lets one go, it's blocked. Here's Flatley with a shot. Milnikov gets help at the defense. Now the puck comes loose. Arianov playing it off the boards and down into the Islanders zone.
Islanders handling the puck on the power play very well. Good shot by Diddick from the left point position. Had the ball scared in front of the net.
Helminen pulls in on right wing, drops it back to Norton, over to Gerald Diddick, fires off the goal post. Loose puck, Pollock able to get it back to Norton. Jeff Norton comes to the left side. Feeds it right back. Here's Pollock, lets one go. That drifted wide of the net. Comes off the mesh, now back into the mesh, and there's no further play. 8 minutes and 12 seconds left in the third period. The Soviets appealing to get the face-off outside the blue line. And again, Brian Trottier at the Islander bench, coaching now as Al Arbor has gone upstairs to watch his team.
Now he's got his hand to his head trying to figure out what number is so-and-so on his own team.
John Perron, the coach of the Quebec Nordiques now, the interim coach, had a great quote following their game with the Soviets Monday night. He said that the game was worth 10 practices.
Be ready for Patty.
And I think when you look at tonight's game, and as well as the Islanders have played, you can see why, because they certainly have gained not only experience but confidence in their own ability.
Cromer, be ready for Ramo.
There's the centerman on, well, actually Ramo is not playing. He's playing on the left wing side.
Makula feeding it into Helminen, to Makula, back to Janssen with 58 seconds in the power play. Over to Makula, one-timed it wide of the net. It's off the boards, and the Soviets are able to clear it up off Homatov's stick. The Islanders set up again in the center ice area. Janssen taking Makula's pass. Janssen, who has some international experience as well, dumps it in. LaFontaine got checked on the play by Kasatonov. Clear it to the line off Janssen's stick, and he'll have to come back. He and Larson together on the points. Moving into forecheck is Bikoff. And the shorthanded goal to give the Soviets the lead. Now LaFontaine with a pass to Makula as he went into the Soviet zone. Centers LaFontaine with a shot that's high. It's off the glass on right wing, and Homatov carries it to center ice. Into the Islander zone with a shot that's wide. 12 seconds remaining in the Islander power play. Fontaine, after it had hit him, went to the right wing boards. The puck kicked back to the blue line, and Stelna fired one wide of the net. Teams at 6 aside. Helminen dropping the puck back to Reed Larson. Shoots it in off the boards at center ice. Milnikov slows it up. Stelna gets double-teamed as he moves it around to the right side. Andrei Homatov puts it into the center ice zone. Into the Islander territory. Bikoff centered one wide of the net. And Diddick is able to clear it out into center ice. Little less than 7 minutes to go in the third period. The score tied 2-2. Central Red Army and the New York Islanders. Second game of their tour for Central Red Army. They dump the puck into the Islander zone and get to it first. They get Makarov parked in front of the net. The pass was nowhere near anybody in a red uniform, so back they go. Nabokov playing it up the far side. Now into the center ice zone. Yemchikov into the Islander territory. Centering pass is deflected to Randy Wood. 3 Soviets get back. 3 Islanders move up. Wood comes over the line with Crom and Brent Sutter. And the defensive work of Milnikov breaks up the play. The puck went toward the net, and Milnikov covers and holds on there. 6 minutes and 2 seconds left in the third period. The Islanders and Central Red Army tied 2-2.
This Monday afternoon on Sports Channel, Red Army will go against offensive gunner John McClain and the New Jersey Devils at 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central. Catch this great Super Series matchup right here on Sports Channel, the network of the NHL. Check your local listings for regional games in your area.
Chernik is moving around in the face-off circle. It appeared that linesman Gord Brossiker, yes, he did. He moved him out of there. So Zelebukin will take the draw, and the puck comes back to Norton covering the right point, then knocked away from him by Davidoff. Back into his own zone is Pilon. Left side to King. Breaking pass to LaFontaine. He was onside but couldn't pick it up. Now LaFontaine takes a hit from Gusarov. Big rangy Soviet defenseman moves it to the right side. Zelebukin into center ice. Over the Islander zone to Davidoff. Lets one go, and it was off Norton. Loose puck. King takes the man. LaFontaine gets checked. Davidoff turns, comes off the board. Shot one off Rudy's blocking glove. Delgarno goes to the corner. Knocked the puck loose. Davidoff centers, and the Soviets have a great chance. It's blocked once, twice by Rudy, and brought out by Pilon. Spectacular stop by Kelly Rudy, and Pilon dumps it into the left side of Milnikov. Going it after it is King. Centers the puck. The Soviets get back and now start out. Into the center ice zone. Moving up neatly with it is Davidoff. He's checked at the Islander territory. This is Mark Bergevin over center ice. Long bouncing shot covered by Milnikov. Sergei Milnikov played all 8 games for the Soviets on their way to the gold medal at Calgary last February. In the nets for his second game on this Superpower Series. The score tied 2-2 with little less than 5 minutes to go in the third period. Larry Ardoff with the pass. Fetisov moved it to Makarov. Centered it right in front, and they score! Left all alone is Krutov, the tank. They call him, and it's 3-2 for the Soviets.
One big mistake in their own end of the ice in the third period, and the Islanders pay the price. The Soviets go ahead 3-2. Krutov takes the pass. Take a look at the play developing in the center ice area. That's Krutov as he picks up the puck, comes down, taken out of the play. The pass to the right wing side. There's the play across, picking it up, backhanding it through the legs of Kelly Rudy. Beautiful passing play by Vladimir Krutov, who started in the center ice area, finishes it up by taking the pass, getting in behind the Islander defense, and making it 3-2 with that smooth backhand shot. Again, there's the pass coming across. The quick backhand. Makarov passing to Krutov. And it's a 3-2 lead.
And number 2, Vyacheslav Fetisov.
Well, there it is. Krutov, Makarov, and Fetisov. Three very familiar names in Soviet hockey. The goal at 15:24. Krutov drops the puck back. Larionov at center into the Islanders zone. Got knocked down by Brent Sutter, however. Fetisov with it. Got it right back again. Neat the way they set it up in their own territory.
Very neat. You'll remember, though, the last time that line was out on the ice, they had a checking line, including Randy Wood out there, along with Thomas Johnson, to try and keep that KLM line in check, and they did a good job.
Fetisov with it, back of his own goal, up the boards. Krutov can't clear it out. Here's Gary Nyland playing it in deep. Chasing it is Flatley as it comes to the boards. Flatley gets double-teamed, and the puck is cleared to center ice. Let's go Islanders. The chant that you hear in the background is David Volek dumps one in. Fetisov back with the Soviet. 3.5 minutes to go in the third period. Soviet Union with a long pass to Homatov. He's over the Islander line, cutting to the left side with Bykov. Bykov goes to the front of the net. Good job by Larson, taking Homatov into the corner. The puck comes around to the left side. Bykov centers. Kamensky. Brent Sutter ties him up as he went to center him. Now Bykov puts it back to the goal again. Valery Kamensky is checked, and David Volek has it knocked off his stick by Bykov. Volek from back of the net. Turned it over in his own end of the ice. Homatov centering attempt was blocked, and it's Nyland playing it across to Larson. Comes over center ice. Into the Soviet zone. The puck knocked loose. Larson going after it. In comes Flatley. It's knocked away from him. Volek cannot get a stick on it. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the third period. Central Red Army leading the New York Islanders by a score of 3-2. Soviet setting up back of the goal. Moving up the right side. This is Homatov with it. His pass to Chernik is broken up. Jeff Norton left it on the boards, and Davidoff turns it over. Now they get to it again. Over the Islander line comes Chernik on right wing. Pilon chases him back of the net. Chernik comes out in front, centers, and it's shot high and wide by Homatov. Almost hit his teammate, Davidoff. This is Pilon carrying it into center. Breaking pass to King. It went off his stick. He races it after it. King trying to center the puck. Soviets playing around the boards, out to center. Icing waved off here. We have exactly 2 minutes to go in the third period as Norton comes back to the puck. Jeff Norton carries it over the center ice stripe. The U.S. Olympian of '88 taken into the boards and a good hip check. Konstantinov, the man who got him. And now at center, the Soviets set up again. Harry Erdhoff drops it back to Fetisov. Konstantinov to Fetisov. Fetisov wants one up through center ice. It'll go right to Kelly Rudy. Picking it up is Gerald Diddick. Diddick looks for an opening. Pass ahead, relayed to Helmanen by Makela. Helmanen across the line, shoots one, blocked at the defense. Helmanen's forechecking, turns Fetisov around, but he recovers the puck and clears it out. It'll slide just wide of the Islander net. No icing. Richard Pilon steps from back of the goal now with a pass up left wing into the skates of Greg Gilbert. Gilbert trying to relay it to Makela, who's cutting down the right side. Diddick in the meantime picks it up, brought it over the Soviet blue line offside. A break in the action here. The Soviet Central Red Army team leading the New York Islanders 3-2.
You make it.
Coaching staff getting ready for, I guess, pulling the goaltender and the extra skaters.
Got the goalie.
The Islanders using the timeout. Ryan Trottier.
David, Platz, and Brent. Forwards. Patty takes the goalie. That puck to the net.
Take a look at what happened the last two times these met. All by one goal. The Soviet Wings 2, the Islanders 1. Brian Trottier scored the only Islander goal in 1976. Viktor Shalamov and Vladislav Anisin scored for the Soviet Union in 76. Fresh back from the Soviet Union, obviously with the hat, the military fatigues, probably the Red Army. doesn't play on the hockey team. There's his flag. He's even got the flag going for him.
And tell me that there are fans from as far away as Florida, former residents of the Soviet Union, and some friends on the team came up to watch them tonight as the Soviets have just iced the puck. Rare move. Face-off in their own end of the ice. 44 seconds left in the third period. And the Islanders now with 6 attackers on the ice. Heard them talking to Gerald Diddick, who was checking at the bench. He and Norton on the points. LaFontaine, Volek, Sutter, and Flatley up front. Homatov is out there for the Soviet Union. Going to be Bykov to take the face-off. Bykov is the young man who, when in court in Sweden in 1983, told the court that he was a full-time hockey player and the Central Red Army team earned $5,000 a year. And he's always been regarded as an amateur.
Well, we've known that wasn't true since time began.
Yes. Loose puck kicked down into the Islanders' zone. LaFontaine after it. Matt LaFontaine works it up the boards to David Volek. 28 seconds remaining as he gave it to Norton. Out to Flatley. It's knocked away from him. Picked up by Norton. Jeff Norton across to Brent Sutter. Pokes it over the Soviet blue line, and it's cleared out. Norton with it again. Homatov moved up to forecheck. The puck goes to the right wing boards. Bykov gets checked. 10 seconds remaining as the Soviets put it into the Islanders' zone. Homatov is taken off the puck. It goes loose off Kamensky's stick. And Diddick shoots it down the ice right to Milnikov. And that's going to do it. It's all over. Central Red Army has defeated the New York Islanders by a score of 3-2. So the series between the two touring teams and the National Hockey League teams again is all even. A win, a loss, and 2 ties in the first 4 games. And tomorrow night, Riga will play in Vancouver. And on Saturday, Central Red Army will be at Boston. That's an afternoon game. Bill Smith went right to the dressing room, but now the traditional handshake. Mikko Makala leading the Islanders.
Coaching staff equally. Tikhonov remembers Brian Trottier, obviously, as a player. Now he's had a chance to coach against him. The traditional handshake. Players get to look at each other a little closer in the eyes and appreciate that 3 times now the Islanders and the Soviets have played here at the Coliseum. Winning goal, beauty, Krutov, Vladimir Krutov, 5'9", 28 years old, born in Moscow. He's a Vancouver pick, the 11th pick in 1986, if they ever get Soviets to play in the NHL.
Now we're awaiting the announcement on the 2 stars of the game, 1 from each team.
I think I heard Pat LaFontaine's name mentioned as far as the Islanders were concerned.
The young lady is a translator from the National Hockey League end of things. And you see the officials going down the ice. We were to have a player of the game from each side, but no announcement as yet. We can tell you that shots on goal in the third period favored the New York Islanders. There they are, the Islanders with 14, Soviet Union with 9, and your totals on the night, the Soviets with 38 shots, the Islanders have 29. Each team scored twice in the third period. Patrick Flatley tied it up for the Islanders at the 5:28 mark, an assist to Brent Sutter on the goal. And then at 15:24, Makarov with a great pass to Krutov. He scores his second goal. He had one in Quebec on Monday night. Krutov from Makarov and Fetisov at 15:24. And Central Red Army defeats the New York Islanders by a score of 3-2. But it had to be a confidence builder for the Islanders. They played well in several areas tonight. Got some spectacular goaltending, and certainly, I'm sure, we'll learn a lot from this effort against Central Red Army. Now let's join Lee Seidman and Mike Eruzione.